Mike Radich here, and I'm now joined on the phone by MMA veteran David Loiseau. David, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing good. David, you got a fight coming up June 7th at World Series of Fighting Canada 2. How's training been going for the fight?
Training's going fantastic. We're really working hard. I have a few guys also in my gym getting ready for a fight. So yeah, it's pretty busy. We're training.
Mm-hmm. You've got a great group of guys around you at TriStar. A lot of guys who have fights, like you mentioned, coming up. What's it like right now in the gym with all these guys? Obviously Rory McDonald is fighting the week after you in the UFC. He's fighting June 14th against Tyron Woodley. There's a lot of guys, like there always is, because there's so many high-level guys in TriStar. What's it like right now?
Well, yeah, like I said, it's very busy. A lot of guys are just working very hard. We have Francis Carmon's fighting this week.
Mm-hmm. Right.
There's Rory McDonald. There's a few guys, that are fighting on smaller shows as well. So yeah, it's a very busy season right now.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now, what's your role at the gym? Obviously, you have tons of experience. You're a guy who a lot of those guys that are up-and-coming guys, I'm sure, have gone to and asked for advice because you've been around the game so long. What exactly is your role on the team? Are you kind of a coach, kind of like a mentor to the younger guys, or are you just a fighter?
Well, I'm just a fighter. I train every day, and I'm there focused on my career, and I'm just. Of course, I'm there to help out the up-and-comers. If they have any questions, I'm always there to help. But, first and foremost, I'm a fighter, sure.
Okay, I see. And you mentioned Francis Carmont. He's got a fight coming up. I'm assuming here that he's like your main sparring partner, correct?
I train with everybody. He's not my main sparring partner, but he's one of them, obviously, because, we're almost the same weight, but I train with a lot of guys. There's one thing for MMA. Yes, I train at TriStar, but for wrestling, I go to the Montreal Wrestling Club. I go to the boxing club for boxing. And so I train different places for Barcelona. So he's not necessarily done.
Oh, I see. Now, coming up on June 7th, you're going to be taking on Dwayne Lewis. How do you feel about him as an opponent? What are your thoughts about him as an opponent?
He's a good fighter. He's a big guy, and he's good striking. He's got experience. He's been around. So, I'm just looking forward to putting on a great fight, for the fans.
Mm-hmm. Now, the original main event for this card was supposed to be a teammate of yours, Ryan Ford, taking on Bristol Marunde in the main event. Now, since he got injured, your fight is now the new main event. I'm just curious, when did you get the offer for this fight? Because I don't remember seeing this fight on the card until Ryan Ford got injured. So when did you get the offer to take this fight?
Approximately when he got injured is when I got the offer.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. And was there any talks between you and World Series of Fighting Canada before this injury happened? Because you were signed with AFC and you were supposed to fight at AFC 20, and AFC became World Series of Fighting Canada. So was there dialogue between the organizations and you before?
Yeah. Well, I was AFC, and now he does World Series of Fighting Canada. So we were in contact. We kept in touch, and we kept talking. So I have a good relationship with Dan, so it's all good.
Mm-hmm. Now, is this an existing deal that you have with World Series of Fighting Canada? Like, did it carry over from AFC, or is this a totally new offer from them?
Oh, it's totally new offer. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. Now, back in July of last year, you were supposed to fight Marcus Vinicius at AFC 20. The fight didn't take place. I'm just curious, why didn't that fight happen?
I was supposed to fight Mike Kent. Then Mike Kent pulled out. And then, I think on a week's notice or 2 weeks' notice, Vinicius stepped up, take the fight. and then that didn't happen because the commission wouldn't allow it. And then they tried to find me an opponent, and then the fight didn't happen.
Oh, I see. Your last fight back in October was against Mike Kent. Was there bad blood between you and Mike Kent, or was this something where just the promotion, they saw that AFC was going to try to put this on, they liked the matchup, and that's why this fight happened? Like, is it just, they liked the fight between you two guys, or is there some heat there that made them want to put this on?
Oh, on my part, there was zero bad blood. I never heard anything bad from coming from Mike Kent's camp or anything like that, or from himself. So I'm a professional, man. I'm here to compete, and that's it. I don't really do this beef stuff, So
Right.
I talk in the ring, man. I talk in the cage.
Right.
I don't have any bad blood with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to compete and put on great fights for the fans. The fans pay money to see his fight, so I want to put on a good show for them.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now, the Mike Kent fight ended in just 15 seconds in the first round. You finish him with TKO by punches. When you get a 15-second knockout like that, and obviously you had these quick knockouts. I think you've had a 20-second knockout, and I think you had a 13-second knockout earlier in your career. When you get a knockout that fast, how does it feel? Does it feel like you were in there for 15 seconds? Does it feel shorter than 15 seconds? Does it feel longer than 15 seconds? Obviously I've never had a knockout like that, so I don't know. So I'm just curious, how does it feel when you get a quick knockout like that?
Well, time slows down when you get in there, so it does feel longer than 15 seconds or 20 seconds. It's just, it feels longer, but it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. It's a weird feeling, but I'm staying in the present moment, and it just happens. I'm focused on my technique, on my game plan, and it just happens,
Now, there's some guys who say they're disappointed when the fight goes that quickly because, you train so long, you train so hard for the fight, and then if it happens that quick, it's kind of like a little bit of a letdown. Are you on that side of the coin, or are you on the other side of the coin? Like, hey, I don't get paid by the hour. My job is just to go in there and get it done as quickly as possible. Which side of the fence are you? Disappointed that the fight goes that quickly, or that's a part of the plan? That's what you want to do, get it out that quick.
Well, the thing is that it don't matter. The thing is that even if the fight is long, as long as I stay healthy and everything goes well, because I want to fight often, and it hasn't been the case in the past few years, because of just contracts and guys pulling out and guys wanting more money to fight and blah blah blah. So it's kind of hard to get fights. I'm a competitor. I want to. If I could compete every month, I would. It's just that, that's my thing. Whether the fight is 15 seconds or 15 minutes, I love to compete.
Is that your main focus right now, your main goal right now, just to be very, very active? Because like you just said, you love fighting, and you'd fight every month if you could, and for whatever reason, injuries, guys pulling out, money not being the right way, and whatever reason would prevent you from getting a fight. Is that the main focus right now, just regardless of what show, regardless of who the opponents are, just get that active schedule going?
Yes, exactly. That's my main goal. My focus is to stay busy, stay active. Stay on my grind. Because I just don't stop the training. So why not compete? And get paid and make things happen. Move up the ladder.
Are you one of those guys that when you're fighting very active, you continuously stay in the same groove and constantly when you have something to prepare for, it makes your training better and it makes you improve longer rather than fighting one fight, then waiting 6, 7, 8 months and then get another fight, and then you've kind of just had to kind of take a step back and kind of just flatline and then prepare for another fight. Are you one of those kind of guys that does way better in your training when you have something coming up?
Well, there's pros and cons with layoffs when it comes to fights, because you can get to work on different things. You don't have a strategy. You don't have to adapt to anybody. You can work on yourself. on your weaknesses, you know, because there's no game plan. There's nobody in particular you're training for. So yeah, that's the advantage of not having a fight coming up. But you know, having when you have a fight coming up, it's very specific towards who you're fighting and what the game plan is. So I don't mind either. It's more fun when you get to compete. You know, like competition is what I want, what I thrive for. You know, I just wanna compete.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, you had the Tachi Palace Fights middleweight title at one point in time. You won that title at Tachi Palace Fights 8 back in February of 2011. But we haven't seen you back in the organization. Obviously, when you fought for them, they were a little bit different because they went on a little bit of a break. They went out of business for a time, and now they're back. Is there any chance we could see you back there fighting for them?
We'll see. I mean, because when they went under or whatever, I didn't hear back from them. So I really don't know. I'd have to speak to my management and all that stuff and see how we can make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Now, this fight is going to be at 205, and your last fight was at 205. Is that the plan going forward, to stay at light heavyweight?
No, at all. At all. It's just that I had five people pulling out, refusing to fight me at 185. So we couldn't fight the middleweight to fight. So I said, okay, let's go up and wait. You know, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm. How much do you walk around normally at?
About 210.
Oh, so basically you a little bit of running here and there, and the weight comes off to make 205.
Oh yeah. Just hard training is will make the weight come off.
Oh, okay, I see. And just curious, what's like a typical meal for you when you have to fight at 205? Like, are you eating whatever you want to eat, or are you still having a clean diet? Just you don't have to make that big jump in weight.
Oh, the thing about dieting is a lot of people think it's to lose weight. It's not only to lose weight; it's to perform better. You know,
right.
Even though I have to, you know, kind of go up in weight, I don't eat whatever I want. You know, I still have to eat clean because it's all about recovery and performance. So a typical meal would be grilled chicken breast with sweet potatoes and some broccoli. You know, and then
right.
A liter and a half of water. That's what I'm about to have right now. So it's
right.
You still got to eat clean, even though you go up.
Right. Now, what are some benefits of not having to cut weight for you? A lot of guys say, you know, when they make that drop down in weight, like guys like BJ Penn, everyone always talks about him. Like, when he goes down at 155, he's in way better shape. His gas tank is way better. But when he fights at 170, he doesn't have to make the drop in weight, but he's not in the same kind of shape that he is when he fights at that weight. You know, where are you in this weight whole deal? Because are you one of those guys who it would benefit more to be down at a lighter weight, or is it something where, you know, just regardless of weight, it kind of feels all the same, just not making that cut?
Of course the cut is always harder on you. You know, it's harder on you, on your system and your body, and it's like a lot of fighters, as they get older, they go up in weight.
Right.
It gets harder and harder to make the cut for the lower weight class. But it's for me, it's fine. Either or, it's fine. I'm very disciplined. You know, I'm a professional. Even if I don't have a fight coming up, I'm training. I train all year round. You know, if I'm not training for my fights, I'm helping other guys getting ready for fights. I'm a martial artist before this whole MMA thing started, this whole professional fighting started. I was training every day, regardless, and I wasn't getting paid for it. It wasn't how I made a living. You know, I was in school. You know, I was a student, and I trained every day. So this is my lifestyle. You know what I mean? So I'm not oh my God. I'm not the type of guy that's like, oh, you know, now I have to start training now that I have a fight coming up. It doesn't work like that with me, or the people around me. Most people around me is, you know, it's we train all the time. when Carmon is done fighting, I mean, a week after he's back in the gym, you know, if a week after, sometimes 2-3 days he's back in the gym. Same thing with George, same thing with, same thing with the boys. You know, most of the guys that I train with, you know, it's a lifestyle. You know, it's a lifestyle decision you have to make. You have to commit yourself 100% to your craft if you want to be successful.
The training all year round, is that just like a personality thing where, you know, you just love to fight, you love to train, so you're in the gym, or is it so you can stay ahead of the curve, so you're always improving, so you can sharpen all your tools? Is it more like just the personality of the guys, or is it part of the job?
It's both. I mean, for me, it's that's how I am. But also, the game, the game evolves so much. I mean, it changes. It changes every month. You know, there's something coming up. You know, there's everybody's improving. So you have to keep. There's always something that you can work on to improve. There's always something that you're weaker at than others, and that's why you cannot ever, you know, sit back and be like, oh, I'm the man, and I could take the next month easy. No, there's always something to work on, and you know, you cannot be satisfied. You can't be satisfied. You have to stay hungry and stay in the game 24/7, 365.
You've been fighting professionally. You made your debut in June of 2000. You've been around this game a very long time. You fought a who's who in this sport, and you fought in all the big shows basically out there in this 14-year professional career you've had. What more is there for you to learn in this sport? Obviously, you know, the game is changing day by day. I mean, there's crazy things that we're seeing happen, and then guys are learning it, and then people are adding stuff to their game constantly, and stuff is flying around here every day. So at this stage, you know, is there anything you haven't seen in this game? And also, what are you still learning in this sport?
I mean, I'm always learning. I mean, there's when it comes to the technical aspect of fighting. I mean, you know, I'm mostly a striker, and even striking, I'm still learning. You know, every day. I mean, there's always something to learn. So yeah, on the technical part, I mean, jiu-jitsu's even the black belts keep learning. You know, I mean, it's an art that is still young, and you know, it still evolves. It's still evolving right now as we speak. And I mean, there's jiu-jitsu, there's wrestling, there's the transition between all three. I mean, there's the ground, there's the ground and pound. There's you know, there's so many things, you know, that I could work on and learn from. You know, so that's the beauty of the sport. It's a young sport that's still developing. You know.
Now, it's been well documented in the past you've had some problems with anxiety before you fight. Are you still having those problems? And if you're not having those problems, when exactly did that stop?
Oh, those days are gone. I mean, I don't have any problems anymore. I've worked them out. I've chased them away from my life.
Right. Now, were you able to do that, you know, on your own, you know, just through experience of fighting and going through the stuff that you had, or did you seek professional help with this, maybe a sports psychiatrist, something like that? You know, how were you able to get rid of this?
Yeah, well, through a lot of hard work, and you know, I did get some help as well, and yeah, I got help, but I helped myself as well.
Now, where did those problems come from? Because, you know, you're one of the most talented guys around. You know, you're a very scary guy. You're a great striker. You know, very aggressive. You know, I've always loved watching you fight, and you're one of the most exciting guys in the game. So, where did this stuff come from?
I don't know where it came from. it was just there. You know, sometimes it's you know, they associate fear with intelligence. You know, I'm a thinking fighter. I'm not someone that just goes in there, oh, I'm gonna kick his ass. I'm not like that. You know, I'm someone that thinks a lot. You know, I think a lot about the possibilities, the risks and the possibilities of what can happen in the fight. And that's probably why it developed and they got out of hand at some point. But I'm actually proud of being a smart fighter, because it helped me out a lot throughout my career. Yes, I had ups and downs, but there's a reason why. I'm the first one from Quebec, from Montreal, to fight in the UFC. There's a reason why I had all the success I had. There is some positive with my formula. There is some positive, and obviously there's I've lost a few times, and I'm working on the weaknesses, whether physical or mental, and I have a big heart. I have a heart of a champion. I'm not a quitter. There's no quitting in me, and that's why I'm still here. I've been fighting professionally for 14 years, and I'm thanks to God, I'm healthy and I'm extremely focused.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, David, probably the most memorable moment in my eyes of your career is the fight against Charles McCarthy. That whole sequence when you hit him with that spinning back kick to the liver, and then you followed it up with a flying knee, and then he went down and you finished him with some punches. Then you did the backflip, and then if I remember correctly, it was a backflip right into like a handshake with Joe Silva. It was a really great moment there. What's your most memorable moment to date? What's one thing that stands out in your mind so far in your career?
Well, my first most memorable one is when my first UFC win. When I first got into the UFC, a lot of people were talking smack here and in the US, saying that this little Canadian guy is not gonna be able to make it in the UFC, blah blah blah. He's can't get beat, and I just went out there, fought hard, and I won by KO in the first round, and there's a lot of haters, a lot of doubters, in Quebec, in Canada, and in the States. So I'm glad that that was very cool,
Mm-hmm. Now, I've always been curious. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No. It's all you. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, and also when I look back at my fight with Rich Franklin, I mean, it was so easy for me to take a step out and be like, my eye, or I can't see, or this and that, and just quit. And then when I look back at this fight, I'm like, it's I showed so much heart, so much will. Even though the fight didn't go my way, I could easily just because the commissioner, the commission were asking me between rounds, are you okay? Can you see? And I wasn't able to see clearly, and then I could have complained and said, I can't, or whatever. Find a way out. I could have found a way out, but I never did because I'm a warrior, and this is it actually revealed who I was. I could have crumbled, like a turtle, and then just quit. But that to me is just as important as a win. It's when you're facing adversity and you don't have the tool to beat your opponent when your opponent's better than you. I mean, you either quit or you stay in there and you tough it out. And you keep trying, and that's what I did. I kept trying, and I even dropped Rich in the third round.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that I used to be. A few years back when I used to look at that fight, I was kind of ashamed. But now I couldn't be prouder than this performance, because I realized over the years, that not quitting. I've seen so many guys quit, in fights, and now I'm like, that's not me right there. I'm not a quitter. I'm someone that stays in there and keeps working hard no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. In a situation like that Rich Franklin fight, does quitting ever come into your mind and you have to tell your mind, no, I'm going to stay in here, I'm going to continue to fight, or does it never even cross your mind at all? Oh, go ahead.
There's not even one. Mm-hmm. Once the bell rings, it's me or him. I mean, that's how it is. I mean, that's how I train. That's how how it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, I've always been curious, how did you get your nickname, The Crow?
Oh, my last name is Loiseau, and it means bird. So when I used to play football back in high school, everybody had a nickname, and my teammates came up with that. Since I'm a black man, a black bird, so they call me The Crow.
Oh, I see. Now, this fight coming up on June 7th, you're a striker. Dwayne D-Bomb Lewis, he's considered a striker. What does this fight look like over the course of 15 minutes? Do you think that this is, basically a kickboxing match with 4-ounce gloves, or do you think that this is going to be a true mixed martial arts fight where we see a little bit of everything? What are you anticipating from this fight? Because obviously, maybe Dwayne Lewis doesn't want to stand with you, but his wrestling, it's pretty limited, so I don't know if you'll have the option of getting you to the ground. So what are you expecting from this fight?
I don't expect anything. I'm a mixed martial artist, so I'm prepared for anything. I mean, if I wanted to do K1 or Glory, I would just go and do it. I'm a mixed martial artist, so if the takedown is there, I'm going to take it. If he goes for a takedown, I'm going to block it. I mean, I'm just there to compete in mixed martial arts. That's what I'm about. That's what I am. I'm an MMA fighter, and that's how it is now.
Mm-hmm. Do you use visualization in your training?
Yeah, every day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How do you see this fight ending?
With my hand raised, I'm just gonna push the pace and put on a good fight.
Mm-hmm. And David, last question: is this a multiple fight deal with World Series of Fighting Canada, or is this just a one-off that could potentially turn into something?
Oh, it's a one-fight deal that could potentially turn into something.
Okay, I see. David, real quick before I let you go, do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank, and is there anything you'd like to say to the fans?
Well, I'd like to thank the fans for their support, for supporting me, for supporting the sport of mixed martial arts, the beautiful sport of mixed martial arts, and it's a great thing, I'm glad to be a part of this fight game that used to be called No Holds Barred. It was an underground thing, and we were seen as it was seen as cockfighting, and now we're considered professionals, professional athletes, and it's a great thing. And I'd like to thank everybody, everybody at TriStar Gym, everybody at the Brand's Boxing Club, and the Montreal Wrestling Club, everybody that's got my back. I really appreciate it. And Mitch Mayberger, good friend of mine, that made this interview happen. So I'm grateful for everybody that's helping me out.
Mm-hmm. David, thank you for taking the time to talk. I really appreciate it. Good luck June 7th at World Series of Fighting Canada 2 against Dwayne Lewis.
Thank you. Appreciate it.